Did the Chicago Bulls just find some undrafted gold in DJ Stewart? We're going to be talking about what DJ Stewart has done throughout the Summer League, along with some young promising players that could help the Chicago Bulls in this upcoming season. This is your host, Rico Greenhowe. This is another episode of Bulls Digest. Before we go ahead and jump into it, I want to let you guys know that 77.8% of you guys that watch the videos are not subscribed to the channel. Make sure you mash that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with the latest news and happenings around your Chicago Bulls. Would definitely mean the world to us, guys, if we can get to that goal of 5,000 subscribers by the start of the season. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the hot topic of the day, which is, did the Chicago Bulls just find some undrafted gold in DJ Stewart? For those who do not know who DJ Stewart is from Chicago. He is a 6'2 guard that played at the University of Duke, and he went undrafted. All right. And so this guy did play on the Duke team that somehow didn't get an NCAA tournament invite. He was a one and done player, but he averaged 13 points a game and 1.1 steals a game, guys. But he has absolutely looked great this Summer League. And yes, I know it is the Summer League, guys, but he has shown us that he is a terrific player that can knock down shots, which is something that I talked about prior to the Summer League starting up. I said that, I looked at a lot of tapes of this guy, and that's one of the things that he definitely absolutely could do. But another thing that I think was interesting that he's done, I think, throughout Summer League is that he's defended very well. At 6'2", I think that he's done a terrific job in picking players up full court. He's been very disruptive on the defensive end. He's been finding ways to get into the passing lane, and I think that he has shown that he can be a bit of a pure point guard as well. Even though he is a scoring guard, guys, I think that he has done a fabulous job in running the offense, and I think that he really showed that today, because in today's game against the Atlanta Hawks, we didn't start Matas Buzelis, and we're going to talk about that, but he was key for us throughout this game, and he really did a great job in settling the Chicago Bulls down, making sure that we were getting into some good stuff offensively, and in fact, he did win the game, guys. And so this is what DJ Stewart did today. If you did not get a chance to check this game out, it was a great game. It went into overtime, but he had 37 points. He was plus 17 in the box score, but I know he did have the 6 turnovers, so let's go ahead and get that out the way. But he had 7 assists, just like I was saying. He was a quarterback out there. He had 3 rebounds as well. And, again, he was just feisty with his defense, didn't have steals or blocks today. But for the most part in the Summer League, he has done so, guys. And look, I just was very impressed with what he has done. And I think that DJ Stewart has shown us that he is absolutely worthy of a contract. Okay, I think that he absolutely deserves to be in the NBA, and I know, it's the Summer League, and I know it's a lot of players that you should say, could get out there and be, a part of the NBA. I get it, but just what he was able to really display, I think, over these 4 Summer League games, guys, I think that, he's shown that he can definitely contribute, I think, somewhere in the NBA. And this leads me to my point. If he's going to contribute somewhere, I would much rather him contribute with the Chicago Bulls. I know it's another guard, but I think at this point, what is it going to hurt the Chicago Bulls to go ahead and give this guy a 2-way contract and get him into your G League system? And look, if we have to go ahead and we have to bring this young man up on an emergency purpose, then go ahead and do so and give this guy an opportunity. Because at this point in time, guys, we are going into a retool, rebuild, whatever we're doing, but we're headed towards a youth movement. And I think that this guy absolutely fits. I've said this before a couple times. Look, I don't know what we're going to do with Javon Carter, and I don't even know if he's going to finish out the contract, but DJ Stewart, if he can shoot this way and he can also play defense this way, I talked about the way that he gives me a little bit of a Patrick Beverley type of feel, but a little bit more offensive feel to him. I'm all about bringing this young man up to come off the bench and be a rotational player, guys. And I'm not interested in seeing the Chicago Bulls let talent go out of the door, because they've had opportunities like this before and they have absolutely missed. Who am I talking about, guys? I'm talking about Max Strus. Max Strus is a guy that played for the Miami Heat. He's now with the Cleveland Cavaliers starting. This could have been our guy. I know he got hurt when he was with the Windy City Bulls, but he showed flashes and we did not take that opportunity, guys. And another opportunity that comes to mind when I think about not taking advantage of players that have shown us that they could perhaps contribute, this obviously makes me sick, guys, because when I think about this, I watched this up close and personal when he was with us in the summer league, and I watched him go right out of the door, and we literally got a steal with this guy, but it was Spencer DeWitt, guys. We had Spencer DeWitt on the roster. We elected to go with Jeremy Grant's brother at the time coming out of Notre Dame. If you remember, that season is the season that we went on to play the Boston Celtics in the playoffs. It was first round. It was the last year that we had Jimmy Butler, we had Dwayne Wade, and we also had Rajon Rondo here. Now, Rajon Rondo went down with a broken thumb, and we ended up having to play Grant's brother at that time. And so I think had we made the decision and kept Spencer DeWitt on the roster, guys, we could have went ahead and used him in this type of situation. And who knows, maybe he would have been with us for some seasons to come, especially if we were heading into a different direction. I think that he definitely could have, contributed here. So these are a couple of examples, guys, of you just don't want players who have shown you something in the summer league to just walk for nothing. And I think that, DJ Stewart is a guy that has absolutely shown us, guys, that I think he can contribute at some point in time. And I don't think it's going to hurt the Chicago Bulls to put this guy on a two-way, contract. And I think that also, too, we still don't know what's going to happen to the roster, especially if we're going to move off of Vooch and Lavine at some point in time. So who knows, man? That may open up some space on the bigger club later on anyway, guys. But, just looking at some of these highlight clips, man, he looked extremely good, guys. Just with the way he's been able to, take the basketball down the court, guys, and get it off these long rebounds and just get into his shot making ability. Like, look at this, guys, stepping right into it. That's how pure the shot looked all afternoon today, guys. And he's been doing this pretty much throughout the summer league. He's been showing you the handle. He's been showing you that he can go inside and score as well at 6'2". He plays a lot bigger than what, he looks. And, guys, I love the way that he's operated out of the pick and roll as well with Sanogo. He's finding Julian Phillips here on the break. That's what I was talking about with the quarterback play. Like, he's looked excellent, guys. And I just think that he absolutely should go ahead and get a look, guys, which leads me to the next part of the video, guys, in standouts that we've had. Again, I know it's summer league, but I've got to go ahead and give Matas Buzelis some pub today, because even though he played, poorly, considering he's had some pretty good point totals in the last couple games, I wanted to see what his response was today in a different situation. I put that up on the community tab. What would you do with Buzelis? Would you start him? Would you have him come off the bench? And today he came off the bench. Now that might happen when he gets up to us during the season, guys. And I think that he still, even though he didn't shoot the ball as great, he still went out there and he still affected the game, guys. And I thought he still put his fingerprints on the game. And what I love about this too, and Brendan Haywood talked about this as well. He was on NBA TV. He played in the NBA, won an NBA championship. And he was talking about the fact that when the moment got big, Buzelis was willing to take the ball and go in there and create, and he ended up getting fouled on the play, and he ended up, knocking down 2 free throws as well, which were huge for us in order to go ahead and get the win, guys. And so, just going back to what Buzelis was able to do today, guys. If you look at the stat sheet here, again, he came off the bench. He got us 11 points. I know he was negative in the box score, and he had a lot of personal fouls today and turnovers, but he still had 5 steals, guys, and he had an assist as well, and he had a block. He did have a couple rebounds, and one of those blocks, it was called for goaltending, but I think he did a terrific job, guys, and just still showing energy coming off the bench. I was pleased with what he was able to bring to us, guys, and I think I've been pleased with what he's been able to do, I think, throughout the summer league, guys, because here is a guy that I think, honestly, when he came in, you could just tell the mentality, man, just how locked in he's been is something that I just really haven't seen from Patrick Williams. And that's what I was talking about a couple videos ago, is just like, look, just the way that this guy shows up on a night to night basis. I love it. And I just think that if it's Patrick Williams that's in his way from getting to the starting lineup, I think that, it's going to be tough for him to keep him out of the starting lineup, in my opinion. But we'll see what happens. It could be, he's contesting for another position on the team. I don't know. Again, this is going back to a little bit of what Sam Mitchell was saying, that, hey, he's natural at the 2-3. He said in his draft interview with Andy Katz, that he said, I feel like I can play 1 through 4. And he said, when I put on weight, I feel like I'm going to be able to go 1 through 5. So I was like, man, that's phenomenal. With his confidence just coming in like that, I loved everything that he was able to really bring to us today. And another guy also, too, I've got to throw definitely his flowers out there, and it's going to be Sanogo, okay? Because, look, a lot of people in the comments are saying, man, he couldn't be a center. I don't know if he can contribute. Let me tell you something. Brendan Haywood, again, he was on NBA TV. If you watched the telecast, he said, look, if you can do one thing in the NBA in the paint, you can get paid. If you can do two things in the NBA in the paint, you can be around a long time. And Sanogo does 2 of those things. 1, he scores. 2, he gets boards on both ends of the floor. So that tells me that this is a guy that is ready to contribute. I'm not sure at what type of capacity that's going to be, but I'm telling you right now, the Chicago Bulls, who did not go out and draft a center, who are going to need a center, absolutely need to play a former NCAA champion in Sanogo right now. He has shown us in the G League. He is once again showing us in the Summer League that he absolutely belongs. And let's not mess this up, guys. He is with the Chicago Bulls. Billy D, whoever it is, play this man, and I think we are going to be really surprised with what he is able to bring to the floor, guys. So that leads me to the questions, really, guys. What do you guys think here? Are you impressed with Buzelis and his ability to come off the bench, even though he didn't shoot the ball very well? He was still out there dunking. He was still out there active on the defensive end with the 5 steals. Are you impressed with the fact that he came off the bench and he still had his fingerprints on the game? Do you like DJ Stewart? Do you think that, like I'm thinking here, that he could absolutely at some point replace a guy like Jevon Carter? Do you feel like he could be on our bench and perhaps turn into a rotational player down the line? And lastly, what do you feel about Sanogo? Do you feel like this guy absolutely should be getting some major minutes when the season starts, guys? Let me know. And even though we are still getting hyped in the Summer League, right? Like, it is the regular season, I don't care. I'm still saying go Bulls. And as usual, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.